Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm already pooped. It is 10 a.m. I am officially, why can't I ever remember? 12 weeks now? I think 12 weeks. Oh, goodness. Honestly, there has been so much going on. The last video that I recorded, I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys, I recorded on like Thursday instead of Sunday. So if it seemed like I wasn't as upset, you know, more lighthearted than I should be with the miscarriage scare, it's because I've had a couple of days to process and yeah, but I'll get into that in a minute. To be completely honest, again, I am just so tired and not wanting to do anything. Kind of sucks because I would love to be more active, but what are you gonna do? I still need to eat breakfast. I'm gonna do that first, then we can talk. Hello, you guys. Welcome back. I bet you are very curious as to what happened at my ultrasound appointment. We will get to that in a second. I'm currently, spoiler alert, currently 12 weeks pregnant. Baby the size of a lime. I really like this app. It's the Baby Center app. It gives you updates every week on, you know, how many weeks you are, comparing the baby to fruit, apparently. If you tap on, you know, about the baby, it gives a little picture of what it looks like. And then it has like your body, which this is kind of cool because it gives you a perspective of how big the baby is compared to you. And there's a little plus sign so you can tap on it and it makes it a little bit bigger. So, lime-sized baby. Let's see, what does it say about the baby? Small movements. Baby can open and close their hands and curl their toes, apparently. Itsy bitsy nails are starting to grow. Baby's intestines are forming, esophagus. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the app. It's kind of fun. I especially like the picture that shows you like how big the baby is compared to your body. Because, you know, you see the baby and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, wait, but how big is it really? So it's kind of cool. I really enjoy that app. I've used it since I was pregnant with my son, who's now 12. So 13 years I've been using this. Oh, geez. Fourth pregnancy, over 13 years, and I'm still using the same app. So that tells you something. So this last Tuesday, went into the doctor's office. The intended parents came with me, which was great. Didn't get to meet the doctor that I'm going to be seeing because she's very busy and couldn't get me in at the, not appropriate time, but the intended father's going out of town for several weeks. And so there weren't any appointments except after he was already gone. So we saw one of her associates, Dr. Wheeler. She's very nice, knowledgeable. The intended parents asked all the questions, which, you know, first-time parents, they do that. It was funny because we're sitting there and like they were talking and I was just sitting there like, like looking around. It was pretty funny. When she first came in, she's like, okay, I got a bunch of questions to ask. And I was like, go for it, rapid fire, what do you got? And so she asked me a whole bunch of questions, and then she got into questions that were more focused towards the parents, like genetic issues or, you know, things that the baby could possibly have. So they kind of answered those questions and I answered the ones about me. I mean, it went well. She's very nice, and yeah. So because of the bleeding, she checked my cervix. She's like, I don't see anything. I mean, there's evidence that you were bleeding, but there's no evidence of where it came from. It's like, okay, not helpful, but all right. So she did the internal ultrasound, and as soon as you could see the baby, it started moving. And I was like, oh, thank the Lord, baby's okay. Heartbeat 170-ish. I don't remember the exact number. I think it was 170. It's funny because she measured the baby and it's measuring exactly on for, you know, what it has been, right? So at, what was it, 6 weeks, 5 days or something, measuring 6 weeks, 5 days. At 9 weeks, 5 days, measuring 9 weeks, 5 days. Okay. At this last appointment, measuring dead on. Like, it's amazing how, you know, it hasn't changed. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, it's measuring a week ahead, or it's 3 days behind, or, you know, whatever. But every single time, dead on with the due date. Due date has not changed. It is still July 30th. I'm hoping it's not hot by then, because that would suck. My first surrogate baby was due the middle of August. It was very hot and I was miserable. So I'm hoping this time around it's not gonna be super hot by the time I'm super pregnant. Anyway, appointment went well. They drew blood to do like a panel, you know, basic first doctor's appointment stuff. It's funny because during the ultrasound, the baby would not turn. It was always a face-on shot, like head-on shot of the baby. No profile picture whatsoever. It's just creepy, like, skull. Anyone that has had an ultrasound done and has seen like a baby from straight on, they look kind of creepy. They look like skeletons, I'm not gonna lie. So, and of course the doctor's office ultrasound machine, not as high quality as the fertility clinic, obviously. So the pictures were not as good, but it had only been like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, since the last ultrasound. And, you know, the intended mom sent me the ultrasound picture and I was like, yeah, I like the other one better. And at this point, like, it probably hasn't grown that much anyway. So, I mean, the structures are all probably the same. It's just slightly bigger. So they said that they had announced to numerous people, but then she told me after the appointment that she was doing something special for the intended father's parents, where she was gonna send them children's books over like several days. And then she was gonna send something else. I don't remember what it was. And then the last thing was gonna be like either the embryo or the ultrasound picture, like on a mug for each of them as like a hit surprise, which is super cute because like they're gonna be getting all these random children's book. Like, what is this? You know, did you accidentally send it to us instead of like somebody else who's pregnant or, you know, whatever. But I think it's gonna be cute. I'm glad that the appointment went well. I need to call the doctor's office tomorrow because I've had spotting like teeny tiny bit, like 2 days this last week, not like in a row. It was like Tuesday had my doctor's appointment. I think I did Wednesday had tiny bit of spotting, and then Friday, I think there was like teeny tiny bit, like, okay, it was like half the size of a dime amount. And it wasn't like bright red, TMI, sorry guys. It wasn't bright red, meaning that it was old. So I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, she said that it's possible that I might spot or bleed again, which is not what you want to hear. So apparently it's normal, but I just want to tell them so they have like, hey, heads up, like it's still happening. It hasn't happened since the like teeny tiniest bit on Friday, so that's good. Honestly, the only thing I can think of is that last Sunday I had dropper swap in the morning and then came home, maybe did some laundry. I don't remember exactly what I did afterwards, but then like had bleeding at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't know if dropper swap had something to do with it. It's 2 hours of standing and bending and twisting, and I try not to lift, you know, being pregnant, so I try not to lift anything really heavy, but there is, you know, a little bit of lifting, less than 5 pounds maybe. Oh, the battery's gonna die. Hold on. Okay, 2 battery changes later because they're both dead apparently. Oh, anyway, so dropper swap. Who knows? Could be the culprit, could not be. I recorded that little thing this morning and then forgot to record the rest. Today I did, let's see, two loads of laundry. I did the dishes. I vacuumed, cleaned up my room a little bit because apparently during the week I am just so tired I don't want to do anything. Most days I'll set things down, like I'll, you know, take care of it later, and it just piles up. Cleaned off my desk, cleaned my floor. It's not as bad as it sounds. I don't like clutter, which is hard when you don't have a lot of space because you shared your house with somebody. That's a whole other issue. Did that. What else did I do today? Did not clean the litter boxes because I'm not allowed. My doctor, not my doctor, but the doctor that we saw on Tuesday, she was asking me and she's like, do you have any exposure to cat litter? I'm like, yes and no. It's in the house, but I don't clean the litter boxes. My son does. She's like, okay, good, because you're not allowed to do that. I still don't know why. Like, what if I wore gloves? I wash my hands right afterwards. Is it the dust? Is it the contact? Like, I don't know. Never asked, but I'm not allowed to touch it. So my son cleans the litter boxes. What else did I do today? Edited a couple of videos. I think that's it. It's pretty chill. I did, however, start getting like sort of crampy. So like when that happened, I immediately stopped what I was doing and basically laid down and chilled on my bed for like half an hour. Just, you know, in case. So I'm still nervous about it. Honestly, I was telling the intended father, well, I was telling both. The intended parents and I are in a group text message string. And so I'll like text both of them and then one or both will respond. Usually it's the intended father who responds. But I was saying, you know, like I would like to work out because I don't want to get all fat and chubby and pregnant. Like, I have maternity clothes that I've had since I was pregnant with my son. I mean, I've kind of collected them over the various pregnancies, but I would like to be able to wear them. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. The shirts I'm not worried about. It's the bottoms I'm worried about. I would like to be able to work out so that I can kind of keep my figure a little bit. But I was telling them, like, I'm scared too. You know, after what happened last weekend, I don't want to do anything that's going to make it happen again. It was terrifying. He's like, well, call the doctor's office. Do you want me to call them for you? I was like, no, I can call them. Thank you. I think he did a lot of the in-between with his wife and the doctors. I think he was like the point of contact between them. So it's kind of funny when he offers, because he's done it multiple times. He's like, do you want me to call them? I'll call them. I'm an adult. I can do it. Thank you. I don't want, you know, secondhand info. Like, I don't want to go between, you know, I would rather hear it directly from the doctor, and I don't have a problem calling them. So yeah, I mean, I would like to work out, even if it's just weightlifting, not even the cardio part of it. I could live without cardio. most people could live without cardio. It kind of reminds me of Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect. I'm horizontal running. But yeah, I mean, I've got 3, 5, 8, 10, and 12 pound dumbbells. So I can do quite a bit with that. I've got a subscription to Beachbody, which has workouts already, I want to say curated. That's probably not the right word. Already like put together. So all you have to do is do what they say, right? And I could easily modify the workouts to be pregnancy friendly. So I would very much like to be able to do that. But again, I'm scared too. I don't like this. Why is it the one time I want to work out, I can't? Not can't, but I'm scared too. I don't know. It's... I'm glad the baby's okay. It's funny because the doctor, when she was doing the ultrasound, she's like, there's no evidence that you were ever bleeding at all. I'm like, that's weird because I lost a lot of blood. Like, where did it come from? Where did it go? I was positive that it was a subchorionic hematoma because I've gotten them both times with my other surrogate babies. It's like a pocket of blood that forms in the lining of the uterus, I believe. And when you see it on the ultrasound, it's like a big black spot, right? There was nothing. I was looking. I'm not a doctor, but I've seen them before, so I know what they look like. Didn't see anything. She didn't see anything. I have no idea where it came from, why it happened, where, like, nothing. It's kind of frustrating because now I don't know what not to do. They always tell you every pregnancy is different. Yeah. Pretty much. It's funny because people will say like, oh, was your pregnancy with your son and your daughter different? Like, not to me, but you know, to other people. And they're like, oh yeah, it was so different. Because they're trying to figure out if they're having a boy or a girl, right? And I'm like, literally, this is my 4th pregnancy. I have had 1 boy, I've had 2 girls, and then this baby, right? They've all been pretty much the same. So you can't really tell. I've had people that are like, oh, I had really bad heartburn and my baby came out with lots of hair. I've never, ever, ever had heartburn. I have had a bald baby, my son. I have had 2 very hairy surrogate babies. Both the girls came out with a full head of hair.
Hi.
You clean now?
Mm-hmm.
Did you use soap?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be clean if you didn't use soap.
I did sniff it.
I don't want to sniff your armpit. Gross. Sniff your own armpit.
I smell good.
Great, go brush your teeth. I lost my train of thought. Not speaking of food, this last week, okay, I don't know if it has, I don't know if it's related at all, but I have been having GI issues all freaking week and I am sick and tired of it. I had Chinese food twice and felt sick after eating it. One time I felt sick while I was eating it. And I was like, okay, maybe this baby doesn't like Chinese food. I don't know why is the weirdest thing. I thought that I ate something weird. No idea. But I have had GI issues this entire week and I am sick and tired of it. The joys of pregnancy. It does havoc on your body for some reason. Ugh. I need to use my massage thingy. I have it's over there. It's like I can't describe it. It's like a machine that has 4 like balls on each side that rotate and then they'll go the other way and they heat up so it's warm and you like drape it over your shoulders, and it has like pockets you can press your arms in, so it like holds it in place. Can't think of what it's called. I will link it in the description, but I believe I need to use that tonight because I am getting a tension headache in my neck. It happens every once in a while. This muscle right here that connects your shoulder to your neck, yeah, it's like rock hard. I think it's from sitting at a computer and like lifting my arm up to use the mouse, but it gets super tight and gives me tension headaches. So I think I need to use the massage thingy to like sort out my back. I really want to go to the chiropractor. I need to figure out if my Providence insurance covers chiropractic, because I know you can go when you're pregnant. One of my friends at work went, but I would love to get my back and neck zipped up properly. When I would go before, this was like a year, 2 years ago, maybe year and a half. They covered chiropractic and I was going like once a week, let's be real. It was my self-care thing that I did. It was like $15, which is not super expensive. I know girls that get their nails done every 2 weeks. I'm like, that is so expensive. But $15 a week, not that bad. So I would go every single week, and I went in every single time for like 5 or 6 times in a row. The chiropractor would crack my back and it would just go zzz, up my back. And he's like, oh, that was the best one of the day. like multiple times in a row he would say that. Because I mean, my back, I pop it myself. I haven't recently so much. Every once in a while, like, you know, twist and it'll kind of pop things back into place. But yeah, it was funny. Every time they pop my back at the chiropractor, it just zip right up my back. It's fantastic. I think that's it for this week's update. I have been rambling on for too long. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. It's kind of like bing, 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 bing. I'm sorry. I don't script these, so they get kind of ridiculous sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me here on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.